Forum. We're calling the meeting to order at 6:11 PM. The Historic Resource Commission is charged with promoting, enhancing, and preserving the character of the historic district as well as landmarks, including the Courthouse Square Historic District. The commission has a quadrennial role. The commission hears evidence, determines relevant facts, and then applies the laws as it concerns to the exterior changes or to the demolition of any properties as well as new construction in the district. Commission members shall conduct themselves with professionalism and show courtesy to fellow board members, other city representatives, and the public. A board member shall approach disagreements in a positive fashion and refrain from personal criticism of meeting participants and other city representatives. Once a majority of the commission reaches a decision, the minority shall respect and honor the decision. Remember, all public meetings or public hearings are recorded. All comments must be recognized by the chairperson and addressed through the microphone. When speaking to the commission, please stand, speak slowly and clearly into the microphone, and state your name and address for the recorded record. Please be respectful to others and refrain from disruptions during the meeting and refrain from conversation with others in the audience, as well as the microphones are very sensitive and can pick up whispers in the back of the room. Please silence all cell phones. Roll call and confirmation of a quorum. Matt Haley,
Present.
Zipporah Clark Baldwin, present. Karen Chin, Lisa Kyle, absent. Anthony Brooks, absent. Jeanette Beaudry. Would we please rise for the pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pause for a moment of silence. We will now consider the minutes from January 3rd, 2023 meeting of the Historic Resource Commission. The minutes include findings and facts and conclusions of laws. Commissions, are there any corrections? No.
There's one in regards to the attendance.
Yes. Okay, and so we had marked Ms. Moser present in the last meeting and she was absent. So Cameron has already corrected that. We make a motion that the correction and to the minutes be accepted.
I move that we make that change.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? I will now open up the discussion regarding the downtown building plaques on behalf of the Historic Resource Commission. I'm going to, again, turn this over to Ms. Chin, who has worked so well with getting everything comprised. We met last week for about 2.5 hours, which can do some of the time we would have spent tonight on just going through the drafts. Jeanette was also asked to have a list. Were you able to do that? Because
I kind of went through and marked the ones that I felt like, but see, I don't know how many we're gonna buy. So that's
what we're looking at
me.
now. We're going to go with what Mr. Haley had recommended, better quality. We know it costs more, but we were looking for the durability. So we decided on 10 to start with, working on a budget of 5,000. Oh, nice.
I think we might be able to get 12 with 5,000,
Really?
because it's like, I think I said 420. So, I mean, 4,800.
Now,
It's the
something
thing
I
on-
looked at,
Yeah, so maybe 11 or 12.
So you think with 11 to 12, with the 100 characters, was that?
Well, that each character, I mean, it was 25 cents. So like if you went off of it, like there's only 75 characters on one, it would come off 25% of character. So,
Yeah.
but it was all based on 100 characters, what I,
Right. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So we do have several that are under 100, and we tried to condense the ones that were over. And everything is up for discussion. Nothing is written in stone. But we tried our best to kind of work with what we had. We have a list of 10. Jeanette, if you have your list, we'd like to combine it. And we can just decide between the two lists. We have a list of 1 through 10 that's already been drafted as far as prioritizing. And then after we get through this 12, based on our assumption that we would be able to afford 12 at this time, then we had planned to go back to the council and ask for more money. And I have spoken with the mayor, and she said that if we come and make a presentation, that the council will more than likely adhere to our requests. So they are very interested in helping us with this project. And we also asked about manpower, and she assured again that someone would also
Works probably.
would help with that as well. So seems like everybody's kind of on the same page and getting this completed. So what we'll do tonight, we have our 10 here, and we can compare with Ms. Beaudry. Since
Well,
she has,
I want to ask a question about this since we're passing around.
okay.
I saw at the end of something, there was a bronzy color. Is that not the ones we're thinking about? There was a silver and a bronze.
Yeah,
color.
Jeanette, I can answer that. That's the K2. Those were the K2
Out of Virginia.
options. And that company either had plaques or stand-up. So you saw 2 options that would have been wall mounted. However, I made the call and would strongly recommend that we buy local rather than
So it's this color. It's not going to match the bronze ones though.
Were there
I don't-
other
I don't
colors?
know.
Ask Mr. Haley, because I
Mr.
think
Haley,
he's,
Matt would be able to tell us whether or not.
I didn't completely ask about the colors, but that's the closest that they get to what I think is downtown, because it's the holly bronze, which is an alternative of the bronze, because it's mixed with that, but it's durable, it's gonna be long lasting, and we can ask them when we do that, but
Probably not.
probably not,
Yeah.
based on this other stuff I've seen, it's kind of similar to that.
I would offer just a thought that the existing plaques are up. They are one tone, they are one color. At the time those went up, it was either however many they were able to afford, or at any rate, the program to put plaques up stopped. And then there was a chunk of time that went by, and here we now are in 2023 wanting to continue that. And even if the tones of the design and the shades of the metal that were on there are different between those 2 applications, in my mind, it's almost an advantage because it's a very clear demarcation that, oh, look, the city is still interested in doing that. However, that happened, and anybody looking at those plaques will have no idea that it happened or was facilitated by our HRC committee, but they will see that there are plaques added. And if anything, they might ask, gee, why are they different? And it would be an opportunity to say, well, it was a program, it didn't get completed, and we decided to pick it back up again. So it would be a positive in that regard.
The ones that are up there were gifts from the Rhines, Miss Ryan and the mayor. They gave money to the Graham Historical Society, which started the museum.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll back up to that. Anyway, it was a gift to them for the plaques. So the Rhines paid for it through the Graham Historical Society, and that's why there's only 6 or 7 or 10. Anyway, but it was a private
Private gift.
gift through the Graham Historical Society.
one more reason to indicate that the city and HRC felt that it was a nice enough touch to designate the structures in the city. And that it had been continued. It was a gift that was then picked up and continued by the city. I don't find it objectionable.
And the $5,000 that we're working with was also left, from what I understand, by the Historical Society. So,
There were still funds in the kitty to continue this program then.
so if you'd like, we can start, or you can start, and we'll go through the 10, if you have a 10.
You wanted to know which ones had yes on it?
Oh, if he printed it
find it?
out, it's
Okay.
right here. So has a plaque, number 2 has a plaque, anyway, it's on. I'll go. I didn't do but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because I wasn't sure how many.
How many we
wanna
want to
have.
have?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, I'll just, where are yours marked? Where
Okay,
are
so,
y'all's marked before?
We have a copy
For your
here, which I can show you my copy and let you guys look at what I have. Click on them. Okay, so number 1, if you want to go through it like that, number 1, we have 119 and 117.
This list? Or
Did
the-
you have your list
or
like
this
this from the, yes, that list?
Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
So is number 10, as far as the number at the top. So it'd be number 10, it'd be 119 and 117 is what we have as number 1.
That's item 10 on your list, but it's,
Yes, number 10.
Okay, yeah, I had that one. But this is y'all's first choice.
That's the first choice, and then we can compare with what you have. Number 2, we have number 28, which is the former W.J. Nick store. Yes, ma'am, at the top in the parentheses.
like 28 on the no list. 28 in the parentheses on the big print list.
I don't even have a
This list.
28. Oh, okay. I don't have a 28 on here.
You have the full packet, or is that just something he ran off? of you
Yes,
for?
something.
Yes or no?
He's got it.
Like the the 5th page. The former W.J. Nick store.
Right here, okay, so that's your second, okay.
Then the 3rd is going to be the number 48, the Paris building. Number 4 will be number 59, it's 142 North Main Street. It indicates it was built by Graham Drug Company. Says it's served as a sporting good company.
And of course, all this information came off of the Annex A, the 2015 inventory that's got the photos with it.
Okay.
That was our base.
Mhm. Number 5 is gonna be the number 7, it's gonna be 133 North Main Street. And it says built in 1923 by R.N. Cook and Dr. O.J. Paris. So that one definitely needs still a description if we want to add more.
So you're back to the Paris building.
133 North Main Street.
What's in there right now?
What's in there now?
Oh,
What is it?
Oh,
No,
No,
133.
the press is in there.
133 North
30
Main. It's the
Press.
press, isn't it, by the coffee shop somewhere?
So that's number 5.
Number 5, And then number 6, we have the Esso station, which is now Miracle
Miracle
Metals.
Metals, yeah.
And you with me? Six.
Just get these down, Jeanette, and then take a look at them and.
I'm trying to find them.
The Esso station, where's the Esso
Okay, I
station
see
on
it.
your
I
yes and
got
no
it. I
list?
got it.
Oh, you got it, okay. All right. And number 7 is gonna be number 16, it's gonna be 10 Court Square. This is a L-shaped, single-story building built by ZT Hatley and Dr. W.R. Goley.
But that's the extra building now, right?
Hatley Jeweler,
Yeah, but that, what's in
What
there
that used to
now,
be?
it's listed as at the extra law, isn't it?
10 Court Square. Yeah, right around from Passion. Make that little turn before you go to Graham Furniture.
No, you're in the
Over by
wrong
the
corner.
Outfitters.
No, you're going to Bernie's,
You said Edgar Law?
extra law.
Yeah, he's right there by the Outfitters. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right there by the Outfitters. So you got Passion right here, and you're coming on around. You got the Outfitters, then Graham Furniture, and then it's a little bitty door right there. And then it's another lawyer beside him also.
16, I think is,
There's multiple stuff. I mean, there might be a southeast.
Mm. I had it extra law as Hadley Jewelers over here in the corner where Bernie's.
we noted number 7 choice is item 16, and if you look at the inventory,
It's
Um,
Hadley
here's the
Jewelers.
picture.
It's over there where Hadley Jewelers is. You're in the wrong corner.
It's 10 Court Square. And it doesn't indicate. What do you have on there?
In the inventory, it's the build, it's Hadley Jewelers and it's over here where Bernie's is, not where Passion is. It's where Bernie's is.
There's a 10 northwest, there's a 10 northeast, and there's a 10 south.
Southeast.
it's
So I mean, there's
we're
3 different
northeast.
10s.
She says northeast, 10 Court
That-
Square northeast.
That's next Bernie's. That's where Bernie's is, that
Okay,
corner.
okay, very good. So that's number 7. Thank you for that correction. So you got
I
Burns.
left north and east,
Okay.
northeast off of that, and 8.
Okay. Number 8 is number 14, and it's the Scott Building.
The Scott Store.
But
It says
is
Scott
Scott
Building built by
Building.
James Sidney and W.C. Donald, home to various Graham businesses today. So we'll definitely try to get.
Jeanette, right now, that's 103 is Hi-Fi Records, and 101
Yeah,
is Volts.
okay, I got it.
Okay.
This is number 8.
Number
Mhm,
8.
That was choice 8.
Number 9 is going to be number 15, which is saying 8 Court Squares at northeast, southeast.
That one
or
is 8 Court Square Northeast.
Northeast.
Yes, and on,
Fine, you have that.
What's in there?
there's the photo, and it did have number 10, number 4. Number 12 is and number 16
the
is the
Vestal.
Muse. Yeah, that's part of the Vestal, but it's apparently it's a separate. Vestal does have a plaque on it, of course. But this one is
This up
noted
next to
as,
the cinema.
it's 8 Court Square. Here's the photo of it.
Is that the Graham Soda Shop?
When we looked at it, it's number 8, number 4, number 10, it's been 12.
Is, that, it's right there. Isn't that the Graham Soda Shop now?
Yeah, that's a Graham.
Yeah,
Soda
Graham
Shop.
Soda Shop is there now,
That's the Vestal, that whole building.
called the
So-
Vestal.
Yeah, but that whole building was, so I wouldn't put another
Well,
one.
we have the Vestal is the plaque is there.
Yeah, Vestal
Um,
is on the yes list.
The Vestal is on the yes list because it's there. You can, right? Let me get to number 10, please, and then we'll be completed with this tab.
Put a question on 8 because the photo in here is, to me, is confusing. For number 8,
Number 8.
is that,
Okay, let's call out number 10. Number 10 is number 25, and it's the building no longer exists, but in its place now is Whit. Where the Whit's Custard is, but the original building has been knocked down.
Right, it
The
fell down
demolition,
where
right.
Brantley's was.
Right,
Right,
but that's what was there, and now Whit's is there. But that's number 10. Well, on here, it indicates building no longer exists.
right. Well, I didn't, but I wouldn't put a plaque on it if it no longer exists.
This is a contributing property. It is on original plat of Graham. So there's a lot of emphasis on to include it.
Five.
And that's number 10.
Where.
Brantley, it looks like the Brantley
Where the
is,
white thing is in the picture
Mhm.
right there.
Mhm.
But I think it's going to confuse people, put a plaque on something that's not there anymore because it was falling down and the tallies took it down. Yeah, he took the Brantley office away. No, no, the Brantley's autos got taken away. No, no. No, because they took it down before they came to HRC for permission to do that, because they got in very big trouble for that.
Where addition to that, the building itself, where they actually serve the same building.
oh, yeah,
Oh, so you're saying the shed part where the white is what came down?
Car lot was- That building was there. Car lot, the doorway on the side, just like it does now. Back half of that building was lawnmower parts from Farm Service. There was a lean-to shed on the back part of that building that had lawnmower stuff in it. But where that tractor's sitting now was the open area where the cars sit, car lot.
Oh.
where the,
So you're saying Witt's got rebuilt where Brantley's was?
Remodel.
Phase
That's
they refaced it.
at some point, it had been a aluminum door, aluminum facade, but you have to look at the building. That particular, what you see now, the brick structure is what's been there, I've lived in there for.
So this white Brantley is Witt's resurfaced then, isn't it, Joey? Yeah, look at the side, look at the shape of it. Yeah,
That, now, this part here that you see on the side
That's
is
new.
where the shed was, that's new.
That's what fell in.
Yep, no, now you're talking about the building that fell in was on one side of it.
Right.
This was just. a-
No,
this was just
no,
a-
there was, let me have
That's-
that.
See, that's Witt's right there. Go back to the front of that, Kenny.
yeah. Perfect, Cameron.
See the brick, the facade, that's the same building.
I always thought it was the same building.
Yeah, because in the,
I'm gonna
photo-
leave that to you guys because I
But they.
clearly don't know.
Chuck said the support beams and stuff were all falling down, and so they went ahead and took it down with it before coming to us for permission to do it. No, no, no.
I know they
The,
took
the
that-
side of Nick's, Jay Burke took it down. It's
Yes.
been gone.
see what got me was it's right next to this building, got all of the windows.
There was a lean-to way off the back of that building
Yeah,
that came out,
it's
that was
not-
just a wooden shed.
It's not in this end.
But that doesn't even.
Cameron, can you find an older picture
Just the
of
lean-to, there's,
there-
You can see it right there.
21 Court Square Southeast?
That's what was torn down. That
There it is.
building, if you look at
There
the
it is. Oh.
windows,
So the cars are where its roll-up door is now.
Oh, okay. So you're saying where the tractor is
Yeah.
sitting on the new picture is where the cars are on that picture?
yes.
Yeah, I got it.
And the white in
See-
there's
see
been
the building that
refaced.
Came off the back with the
Witt's.
sliding door?
Uh-huh.
That's what was torn down.
Ah.
they just
The building-
resurfaced.
The building itself,
Zoom back in, please, Cameron.
Oh, that's great,
They
Cameron.
ripped
Okay,
off the paint
So
on it,
that building where Brantley Auto Sales is,
blasted.
where it says Brantley Auto Sales and around to the front of it has just been refaced.
Well, they
brick
cleaned
veneer,
They cleaned the brick up.
just
Oh,
been
is that what it
cleaned.
was? It was clean?
Yeah, because I remember they were pressure washing and doing a
They-
lot of stuff.
Brand-
process there, that is,
Brantley painted,
that's after the brick clean.
Uh-huh.
they painted the Brantley one. And they,
I thought it was brick veneered, but I could be wrong. I'm not
Painted.
sure.
Well, that's 10.
That's
I don't
number
have
10.
any, I
So
don't have
that-
any druthers.
So you're
I-
saying that the structure is the original structure? And that part right there was built
Right.
on and the upstairs,
Right.
the custard.
Is Brantley, is
That's
the
the
original
original.
Brant, or was Brantley's that we're looking at? Gotcha.
Whatever was before Brandon.
They just,
Brandon was going there. They were there 30-some years ago.
No, they were not, it hadn't been 30-some years. They might have been there for 30 years, but not.
Craig, when Craig retired, he kept 2 or 3 cars, that's probably towards the end, because that's silver Cadillac. He didn't get that, so.
Huh.
And then
Silver Continental.
He retired, he went to First Nation up there on the left.
So what we could do if we needed to, we could go to the record of deeds and get more clarification on it. But if it's gonna show that same building and they would show it changing names. So if that's something we need to do, we'd be more than happy to do that to get it resolved in everybody's mind. I mean, because it's a group thing, so we want everybody to feel comfortable.
Yeah. It was something
Something
else before
prior,
Brantley.
okay.
Yeah.
That's what everybody knows it as.
So that's number 10, and that's what they're indicating here, that it is 21 Southeast Court Square, which this is a contributing property. It is on original plat of Graham. So those are the 10. Now, if you would like, please, Ms. Boudry, to read to us your 7, then we'll see. Did you have any of the same? Or were they-
Yeah, I did.
Okay, let's-
I had not ranked them yet, but
Okay.
just to go through the 7, I had the former post office because it was built by the WPA.
What
I
number?
think I had wondered about that too. It was the
And,
post office.
The Historical Museum building, the old firehouse.
Post office. Was item 68 on the.
On here.
Mm-hmm. 1935. Graham Post Office, 128 West Hardin.
Okay.
Want to consider that as 11?
Okay. Anybody have any objections
else would-
about that?
The,
And that's around where the,
on the side. going to-
now the deeds are, records are. Over on Hardin Street, is it on Hardin Street?
Right.
Got it right there.
Yeah, on Hardin Street,
Cameron.
yeah. Yeah, that's Hardin, yeah, that's
Yay,
where the old
Cameron.
post office used to be. So that we can say number 11,
It's in here. It's in this, yeah.
The gas
Oh,
station,
yeah.
131 West Hardin Street, undetermined age, circa 1930. It's a contributing T-shaped,
what number
flat
is
roof,
it?
66.
66.
Flat roof, brick filling station with handsome classical detail, including dental cornice, brick post with molded capitals, shelters, the capitals on the shelter service area in the front of the station office with a 2-bay garages to the east. Rectangular wing on north or the rear elevation.
Where did I finish? The post office, the
Uh-huh.
Historical Museum.
Historical Museum, what's,
Okay,
what's
I
the
had-
post, what's the address showing for the post office is what, 128 West?
I
And
had
what-
the cinema and the barber shop,
Let's do the,
the one right beside the cinema,
do you have the addresses?
117 and 119.
That was number
Okay,
one.
that's
on-
number one
That
on
was
our
number
list.
one on our hit
Okay, so
parade.
I
yeah.
had the Hardin House, which is the surveyor.
We had that on there.
Didn't name it, but anyway.
The cinema, what does the address for that one? Main Street,
117, 119,
117 Main,
and the barber shop's 119.
that's, we have number 1.
And for number 12, you were looking at Graham Fire Department, 135 West Elm Historical Museum.
Jeanette, she's asking you a question.
She's thinking.
Y'all numbered yours. I didn't number mine. I
That's
just got
okay.
'em
We're,
marked.
we're
That's
gonna
okay,
number them.
yeah.
That's fine.
Go back and look
at.
at. So the Harden House would be
Mhm.
13.
Okay, number
Right.
13, So yours, the way you called them out was the order you would probably want to keep
No,
them?
I haven't
Oh.
got any order.
Okay.
I've just marked them as they're the ones I'm gonna go back and look at. 'Cause
Okay.
I wasn't sure how many. I left here thinking 5, 7,
Right, yeah.
10 at the most, whatever. So I was going through them and got that far.
That's fine.
Okay, the press building, which was y'all's number 5.
Mhm.
Okay. Hi-Fi and Volt, which is y'all's number 8.
Number 8.
Ector Law, which is the, Hadley's Jewelers over here. Okay, and
That was our number,
7,
that was our number 7.
yeah,
Was that number 7?
yeah.
In Fort Square.
Of the 10 square square that you're talking about, east side, southeast side, southwest side,
I,
like the mall right here.
the Hadley's Jewelers is more, with Hadley's up in the bricks and stuff.
This is Edgar Law Firm right here that you're referring to, right?
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
going
it.
by this that
Look at
I
the
got
photo.
in my emails in the hospital. So
Oh, that's okay, yeah.
I'm just,
So is this the same building that you were thinking about?
I've got, the one I'm thinking about is over here is Hadley's Jewelers is the one I'm thinking about.
Is that the same?
I
Mr.
don't consider that
Carson?
building that unusual.
definitely.
I mean, I'm thinking tourists who come to town and they want to see the unusual architecture, that building.
Now, where,
is
where are
not-
you getting unusual? Because we didn't say anything about unusual.
Well,
It's just saying
Then why are you
historical.
marking them?
Historic.
Because of the historic,
And, but
preservation, and we're just trying.
I know,
to-
but you've got some field buildings in here too, and I'm not sure I would like fields to be marked, field buildings to mark. I want them to be contributing or pivotal. So, that's my opinion. So
So let's go with your, so let's go back over your 7, just make sure we have everything. So
I have the post office.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I have the historical museum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have the cinema and the barber shop. Okay, I have the Harden House, the surveyors.
Okay,
I
mhm.
think that's already got one on there.
It wasn't, let's see. it's
Harden House, what number is that?
Harden, no, not according to the,
Well, I think that's
Printout.
incorrect. I think if you drive
Harden
by there,
House,
there's a
one.
plaque on Harden House.
Yeah, I
No,
got this
not-
too.
it really, cause it, on this printout and
Yeah, I
on,
understand that. I'm looking at some notes that we initially took when we.
I
when
saw
we
a
went
picture
away.
of the Harden
Yeah.
House. Hold on, I saw it somewhere. Elements architectural inventory is what I have here, and I did see the Harden House somewhere. Elements County
number
Courthouse.
1, go to number 1.
This is the,
It's the first one in the whole inventory.
Alamance County Courthouse is number 1. Then we got
Oh, she
Captain
means on
J.
this one.
N. Williams.
She means on this one.
Oh, that's what I was,
I
that's
printed
what I
it.
was
Here it is right
explaining.
here.
Harden House,
This is where the surveyor is.
109 East Harden Street.
Well, there's the plaque right there. It is. That's, you and I walked past it.
Mhm.
Okay, it's
So it should
not-
be on the yes
On
list.
the
it's not
yes
on here,
list.
So it's got. a
Where's
plaque.
your
And
yes?
Jeanette, that's why on this large print thing,
on, I
that's
have
why
the
there's
yes
not a
list.
number, we're not a list on.
I have my yes. It's-
So Hardin has one on it. We didn't go up and touch it because there was traffic.
Traffic,
We just didn't want to cross the street,
right,
but you could see it from
right.
outside and it's in the. We also didn't, I also didn't go up on the
Where do you
element.
see a plaque?
It's,
I have the yes and no stuff pulled up right here.
okay,
I don't
So
see
my
it is.
mistake, here it is, right here.
No, I think those are lights.
Oh, you're wrong. I'm not a betting person. I like bet blood.
And you're saying you pulled it up, Cameron?
So
and it's saying, what's the address, 107?
10, 109.
That's my mistake. I should have put it on the
One
yes
oh
list.
nine,
It didn't get on the yes list.
109.
But Hardin House does have that on. there.
109.
Just didn't, we didn't go across the street to get up close. So there it is. You see it right at the door.
Mm-hmm.
So Hardin House is already covered, so you got another choice.
I don't see what y'all are seeing.
And please stop by there now to, because we
Well, it's
could have
not a-
saw something that day, but
Oh,
pretty
it's
sure,
right
'cause-
there.
mhm,
How can you see? with
Thank
a
you, Mr. Tree.
he'll find another angle. Okay. Well, we will check, Jeanette,
See,
you
I
want,
don't see it.
we'll check for plaque, okay?
I don't think
It's right underneath the symbol.
But it's right
It's
underneath.
right underneath that circular symbol.
I don't.
And it missed the
But
yes list, so
I do think that it's there, but it certainly,
I want to see the picture.
absolutely, you're right. That needs to be.
I do not see a plaque, so I'll go by there.
It's also back to 2012.
There is Hardin House, okay, I've got it.
Miss Ryan was dead in 2007, so
Oh, really?
these,
But Hardin
Yeah.
House,
Adored by.
I agree with you, definitely Hardin House needs to have one on.
So in this picture,
Might be what we were looking at was the light, but
I
think you're
can't
looking
see
at
it,
the
I
line.
can't see it in this picture either. Do you see it over here? Hardin House.
Cause y'all have listed it here as no. Who made this list out?
We did.
Well, you put it right there as
And
no.
we're, yeah, so we're saying we're gonna go back and check for plaque, okay? Just to make sure, but I have Hardin House as 141 East Hardin Street, and you're saying 109, which one is it?
There's 109 on your list.
I have the
109
architectural
in the, it's 109 in the handbook, it's 109 on your list.
in the Alamance County Architectural Inventory, it's showing as 141 East Hardin Street. Hardin House.
that brought up another question.
Hardin.
Is that it?
That's 141 is where Forgotten Ales is.
Well, that's what it shows on here.
Well,
And this is the architectural,
Yeah, I would go with the Graham because this is the Graham.
mhm,
grant.
mhm.
HRC did this handbook,
Okay,
so
Clarify that this is 109 East Hardin.
where?
Hardin
The
House.
Hardin House, and that's the Hardin House.
right.
I don't know if it's the Hardin.
No, it's the Hardin House.
Well, it shows just well, the windows may have been changed, but it shows a very similar picture in this. It's the one at the top.
Right, plaque, it needs to have a plaque.
The
They're
one at the
vendor now,
top.
but it needs to have a plaque. You're right.
So,
Absolutely.
but it's showing a different address. And, they did come through at some point of time and change addresses, so we can check to see if it was once 141 as opposed
I
to,
don't- The
109.
architectural inventory was done way back,
So
way, way,
Jeanette,
way
here's a
back.
big question for you.
Uh-huh.
What street number do we use? The current street number or the street number that either it was initially or what's on the index? So you got three choices. What was on the original, what's on the index, and what it is now. For example, the Muse Building, that's been 4 different apartments.
Yeah.
You can always just write it as.
Why are
Well,
you?
that's,
Yeah.
and I don't care. I'm just
And that's what
asking
I
a
was gonna
question. how-
suggest. That's what I was gonna suggest also,
That was
Cameron.
one big
That we can
question.
say
What-
formally 141 East Hardin Street, once we get it clarified, and I will go to the record of deeds, trust me. And
To put on the plaque? Why are you putting an address on the plaque anyway?
well, a lot of them have the addresses
A
on
lot of
them.
the plaques already have.
A lot of the plats. That's how we're being consistent with what's already in place.
That draft you have in front of you was taken
From what,
from what was already up there. I
Right.
looked at some of the plaques and
yes,
so I could see what kind of format.
yes. So that's why we were trying to stay as consistent as
Yeah.
possible
Most
to
of the
description,
time-
make them look kind of,
They had
the
they
same.
had the date, if there was a date there that it was built.
But I'll check that 141 because a lot of addresses have been changed because that 117 and 119 were not always that as well.
Because not all of those structures went by the Reich Building or the Captain White House. or-
Well, I guess in that regard, I mean,
So
if
it
you
just
look at,
went by an address.
Those don't have address.
if you look at the three that you sent over, I mean, the National Bank of Alamance, Reich Drug, and Elmhurst, I mean, none of these have addresses on them, and you all are classifying them as.
Maybe we don't need the addresses.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at, is, we're all sitting up here, we're addressing it as quote unquote, the Hardin House, right? I mean, because it's the only house right there on Hardin, or was for historic time.
It-
So why not just,
Call it
why not
Hardin.
worry about,
Peter Hardin built it. It's why it's the Hardin House.
But some of the other these locations don't have a title house like Reich or Elmhurst or Hardin
Let's go,
House.
then that's
well,
gonna
it's
save
the
us
original
characters.
building name, right? So I mean, what was the original building name for it?
It's saying the Hardin House. It's still indicating that it's a Hardin House. It just has, it doesn't say the, it says Hardin House, 141 East Hardin Street. The only thing that's changed is the address, but if we're gonna go away from the address, then we don't have to be concerned about it. So I'm gonna say that we can just disregard addresses
Oh, absolutely.
and just
Yeah.
put the name of the building. That's gonna save
Yeah.
us characters, that's gonna save us money. So that's a
bet.
very good point. So we'll go away from the addresses. And we'll just say Hardin House, Historical Museum. What was the press building originally?
Um,
The press building, number 5.
Number 7 on inventory, it's just 133 North Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just,
Sure,
So
there's somebody that can probably tell you exactly
The-
what kind of building this and who, what name it was, but that was kind of the whole.
Well, there's a
I would
lady,
put what I would,
Jeanette, one of your neighbors had been brought up to me, and I was gonna mention it to you. If you know her, we could go and, they're recommending that I go speak with her and that she would know all the original names. Right across from Diane on Hardin Street. She's across the
Sarah
street.
Graham.
That's it. Yep. And so they said if we go to her, if we want, we have time, one evening, we can go to her and that she can be able to help us with this. But if we get past tonight, just the buildings that we're going to
Yeah, you make your
select, we're
choice,
gonna
yeah.
add Jeanette's 7, and some of them are the same, so I think now you're down to 3. So we're at 13, and we think we have enough money for 12. So, if we can agree on these 13. And then if we can continue to number them, if we get another 10, and then maybe we can do them in increments of 10. If we can do another 10, and, we can go back to the council for money for more 10, for another 10, and then move forward. So if we need to, we can exchange some of the ones we have already pointed out, make a recommendation for some of the ones that you suggested
Done later.
to be incorporated into our 10, the first 10, because we still want to include what she has with what we have, and then make the ultimate decision, which will be made by the mayor.
If you got 13 right now, you need 12, all you have to do is pick one not to choose, right? So the 3 that she had left over were what? The Graham Fire Department, the
Excuse
Graham
me one
Museum.
second, Cameron, let me just go back to what I'm trying to say. Just let me clarify what I'm trying to say. So if we have 10, she has 7, 4 of your 7 was the same as what we have. So now we're back down to 3 with you. If we can get another 7, we can go back to the council with another 10. So we'll have 10, and we'll incorporate what you have and make us a list of 20. So now we're gonna go back and ask for money for another 7. And take out the extra 3 and just go back with our original 10 that we know we have money for. And that way we'll go to the council.
so you've picked 10, y'all have picked 10.
Yeah. Mhm,
And
These,
we're gonna do 12, so it's only 2.
and that's what I'm saying, to
So
eliminate
The
the odd.
historical museum and I mean, the only ones that y'all marked, I had marked that y'all didn't, was the historical museum, the tire building, which where Bullard was originally, there on the corner, across from the old post office. And the whole Nicholson building, which is where Passion and stuff is now, because it's the first concrete building in town.
So those are the three that I just mentioned. So we're back down to three. We incorporate what you have, leave the three with the next selection of 10. So now we just need to select 7 more, and that would be the 10. I will go to the council for more monies. After we order this first 10, get them installed, then we'll have, they're putting me on their agenda for March. So March, I can go before them and ask for money for another 10. So we will operate and focus on increments of 10. I think we will keep it.
They're one.
They're
building.
one building, because on
Farmer shop
here
system
is
is
combined
one.
like 117 and 119. We're buildings, the
Through
actual buildings,
addresses.
right?
We're
We're,
doing buildings.
that whole thing is lumped into one. And so we can put 117 and 119 on the plat
And
if we
that's-
have to, but since
that's
we're
what's on
going
the
away
index.
from addresses, then we wouldn't have to worry about, we can just name it whatever the original name of the building. So it looks like it was the cinema when it was built. I don't know. I'm asking a question, but I can check that as well as far as how it's recorded. So we're gonna be checking 117 and 119 as far as how it's recorded.
If
in
it
the
was
record
one
of
building,
deeds.
that might be one plaque that we wouldn't even need 117,
I wouldn't wanna do
119. That
one.
would save us
Each
characters.
building,
Well, we're
each
not gonna
business.
do addresses anymore. So we came to the conclusion, we're not doing addresses, right?
Yeah, but it's one building. so you
Right, so
only need
just the-
one
We just
plaque.
need one plaque,
Right.
because we have it as one building. You broke it out into a separate building
I didn't.
when you named it. Well, I mean, when you named it, the Cinema 117 Main Street. So we're back to the same building, as he pointed out. It's one of the same. And if we need to clarify how it's recorded in the record of deeds, we can do that. If that's what we need to do. Right, exactly, yes. No, you're right.
You're
Yeah,
right, yeah.
you're exactly right. Yeah. Yeah.
Even when the hotel in there, Photoshop. Photoshop.
Vestal.
all one
That was all the
building.
Vestal building. Yeah, that's all, that was all the Vestal building. I mean, we have spent numerous uncounted hours on this.
I knew you had it, I just trying to.
Yeah.
Making sure we're-
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that.
Yeah, we are.
We
So
are-
what we're trying to do now, we're just gonna line up our first 10 if we could, please.
I
Start our
want to
list
make
for
another
us.
comment. The Esso station is a field. I
Oh,
I
Expo
don't,
Station.
I did not pull that in my list because it is a field. It was built later.
It was originally a field, it's a field now.
it's a field now. So there was, a space there, so they
Are
put
you talking about the ESSO? Or
Mhm.
that's,
where Miracle Metals
Miracle
is.
Metals.
It's
That's
a
what I
field,
thought.
And I don't
We didn't want to-
particularly
so
want
you're
to
saying the
mark.
building itself wouldn't get a plaque?
No. I mean, to me, I would rather mark the pivotal, which is, the pivotal buildings which anchor downtown, and the contributing don't do the field, like, the Bassett Field, let's see, 8, 9 are fields. They're not even on here because they're not even listed in here because they're fields.
Okay.
18 and
Explain to me
19
what you
still.
mean by that, because I'm not
There
being
was
condescending.
space, and so somebody stuck a building in there. That's
Oh.
all it means. It's
So
not
it's, and
historic.
that's not part of the historic district.
It's part of the historic district, but the
The building
building
is
is
not.
not a building.
Not
There
initial
was a
build.
space between two buildings, and so let's put up a wall and
And build something.
where Carver's was, okay, that is gonna be a field now. When Lee Camry rebuilt that building to be his home and the beer store, it's a field building now. It was a contributing building when Carver was in there, but now it's just a field because there was space and he put a home and a beer joint in it.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I didn't
which-
mean to say beer joint.
well,
but-
that's okay. You're just speaking truth. So which ones are field buildings? So we can exclude those. SO, I have that one. Hmm,
Yeah,
well, we have to, we're gonna have to take this back to the mayor. So ultimately, she's gonna see all of our notes, but we want to include everything.
Graham Furniture is a field building.
Graham Furniture.
Both Graham Furnitures, because he took two buildings and cut a wall out. So Graham Furniture is a field building. Well, and Graham Furniture next to the bank is actually two buildings. And then you've got Graham Furniture over here next to where over yonder is. So there's,
Mhm.
it's actually three field buildings.
So
Where
let's
Mitch
find those
McIntyre's
addresses.
wall- Is Mitch still there, Joey? I don't know who's there. Anyway, you got the museum and the
Mhm.
coffee shop, and then there's a parking lot that's gone. The building's gone, and then you have the little law office. It's a field.
So
It's a
did we
field
have it
building.
in our
No,
number? Okay, so no. So the ones we had in our number, of 10,
the corner bar is a field building.
the SO and the Graham Furniture, and what else was it?
Is it? Okay.
Give me the ones, please, that are field buildings, so I can make sure we make a note of that. And we're gonna request
Well,
that they be
did you-
excluded based on your.
Did you not get this?
I have that, but I can't look at that, sweetie, like you can. That's why I asked you to take that on, because I'm just making notes. So when we say these buildings are being excluded, I'm gonna have a reason why. And I'm just gonna say because they've been pointed out as field buildings. And they're not original within the historic district
Okay,
or inventory. So the SO Graham Furniture,
Or what was originally on the plat?
was originally on the plaque, from what I've been told. Now, I don't know. Like I said,
Is that what you want to keep?
what
Jeanette,
we'll
is
do is,
Just those that were originally on the plat?
well, not necessarily. You mean in his book and this book that's on the plat or what?
No, I mean, of the ones that we select,
Of the ones,
do you only want to select the original buildings that are on the plat?
well, I don't know what you're calling original, but like the ones that I would like, I don't, and they may eventually get marked if we're going to do 10 at a time because they are in the historic district, but they're not, they're just field buildings where like right there, if somebody took that space right there between Two Crafty and Hi-Fi and walled off both ends of it and
Mhm.
made it another business,
Right.
that is a field building. It's
Mhm.
field, that filled that space is all it did.
so can we go back to what buildings that you consider field buildings? So we can.
Well, it's not me that
No,
considers
I'm
it.
saying, well,
it's-
it's you, your opinion as
Uh,
far as this.
Well, the
like-
only one that y'all marked, that y'all liked, that's considered a field building is right here, the Esso station. There it says right there, field.
Right.
C is for contributing.
Right.
P is for pivotal, which means
Right.
it's, holding down the town. I mean, you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm. So the only one really that we have selected so far is gonna be the Esso
Right.
station. Is
I
that
mean,
right?
like Volt and Hi-Fi is a pivotal building.
Right.
is pivotal.
But
Uh,
if we can go
Vestal
through and get all
Hotel
the
is
field
pivotal.
buildings out and just say that we would recommend that none of these buildings be included in our
Yeah, well, the only
selection
one
to the end, maybe?
the only one you've listed right now is the Esso
SO,
station.
okay, perfect,
So,
that's what I have, okay.
Um,
So the SO station is what
the
she
Arts
is,
Council's
asking
pivotal,
that
the
we-
Bank of America's pivotal, the Holt Scott Building, which is Sternberger Law, the blue one on the corner, it's pivotal.
you know, we have
Um,
all that in the inventory, but I just want to make sure
yeah.
that we recognize and respect what you are
Right.
indicating to exclude, and that's right now, as far as I have, it's just the SO station.
Yeah, that's
All
the
right.
only one that's been marked,
Okay.
that's,
So we have one out of our inventory, which now we're back at 9. So we could then include one of the ones out of your 3 that were left out that we were gonna put on the next list for the 10. Which one of those would you consider a higher priority, if that's the correct word to use or phrase to use? Which one of the 3 that we were gonna put on the list for the next 10, would you say then would take the place of that 10? And just keep in mind, everybody, these are just being suggestions coming from us that's going back to the mayor. So if we can choose one more, then we'll have our 10 excluding the SO building.
Bill?
The first 10 that we're gonna submit, we're gonna go back through them and make sure everybody agrees. Then, yeah, once everybody here agrees, the 4 here agrees, then that's the list I will take to the council. And we will let them know what we are planning to do with the first 5,000. And then if I could have another list of 10 to take with me to get approved for more monies, I think we would be working ahead of our game. But we will let them know that respectively, we're just looking for 10 to be installed in increments of 10 for them to be installed. So we can work on another group of 10. We're going through it pretty good. And we would definitely put this here, the SO building is being excluded, and we're gonna give the explanation why. It would be up to them to decide if they accept that from us. But that's what we're gonna recommend based on your knowledge.
Money dedicated to the historic resource commission, right? So ultimately what y'all want to put out there, for the money, would that be, yes, final on that part? Yeah.
As far as the selection, well, we're gonna pick 10 and I'm not saying that they're going to make any changes, but my instructions were to hand the 10 over to the mayor. And then from then, I guess she's going to,
I make a motion, we finalize the 10 and tell them this is
Okay.
what we're doing.
okay. Well, we can get to the next 10. He's
I-
saying he make a motion that we accept the 10 that, okay, which one did you want to put in the place of the SO?
Want to replace the SO?
The SO, which one did you say, Jeanette? And then we'll make a motion for our
Had
10.
3, post office was the Holt Nicholson
The
and
post
museum.
office, the
Hardin House.
museum,
Did you want the Hardin House?
yes.
The Hardin House.
I'd
So
replace it with the
if we
Hardin
can
House.
take 10 and put it to
But
the
I
Hardin
thought-
House.
Yeah, the Hardin House.
Yeah.
I
We'll
don't think
check it.
there's-
I got it right there. Check for plaque. Okay, check for plaque. And then if
I
there
may
is
be
a
wrong.
plaque,
And I'm gonna say this is privately owned. They may not want a plaque on it. It might be why it never got a
okay,
plaque.
okay,
Well, that's interesting.
So.
that's interesting.
uh,
I'm putting that down. See, this is all knowledge.
See, I mean, it was,
Jeanette or Joey, do you know
old.
that family?
there were Union soldiers used it for a office, whatever, when they occupied Graham, officers and whatever, but I mean, it's very historical, but they might not want a plaque on it. It's privately owned. They might say,
Our
no,
re-
don't
the
touch
record
my
of deeds
house."
will probably have the owner.
Well, you can go knock on the landmark surveyor's office. They own it. Huh? So,
Now, okay, so if it does have a plaque, which would you like to come next? Is that the Historical Museum?
yeah,
Okay, so if the
That's
Hardin
the
House
backup.
has a plaque, then we're going to the Historical Museum, Ms. Chan. Okay,
Well,
Or
I mean,
if we get our next list of 10,
but, I mean, if you came to me and said, your house is 100 years old, we want to put a plaque on it, I would be honored, but some people are not. So you've got to ask them as a private owner.
But that there is just. Take this out with the recommendation to take it out based on the fact that it
It's
is
a
a
failed
failed
building.
building. Okay, so we'll recommend. So now let's go through our 10 again. I mean, everybody, we only replaced the Esso building. And if the Hardin House has a plaque, then we're
that
gonna
in
move
there.
to the Historical Museum as our number 10. And Mr. Haley has a motion on the floor that we accept the 10 as we have submitted tonight to be submitted. Is there any person that would like to make a motion?
Second motion.
Make a motion. I'm second his motion to accept the 10 that that we're submitting tonight.
Correct.
Ms.
I'll second that
Ken
motion.
has seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Now, if we can please just look at what we have and try to select another 10. And I will take the 20 to them with the explanation of that we are looking for
Probably a good idea to go through that.
10 to be approved for the monies that we already
It's
have.
on you, Jeanette.
Do they need to know
And
what the
Mr.
list?
We do have the characters counted out, so when we if you would like to make the order,
Mhm.
I didn't, we will have the characters already counted for you.
I don't think we need to let them know what we're gonna do. We're the Historic Resource Commission. We're charged with doing this. If we go to them for the funds, they need to trust us to do it. I don't think we need to sit here and decide what the next 10 are. I think we tell them we've designated 10 and we would like to continue the project. And if they approve it, they approve it. But I don't think they should have any say-so in what we decide here as a commission. I think we're the ones sitting here doing the work and we're going through all this stuff and that's what we're charged to do. I think that's our decision. I think the only thing we need to do is go to the commission, the town council and say, this is the project we're doing and we would like these funds to continue it. I don't think they should dictate which buildings get them or not. I think that should be left up to us, but that's my opinion.
Okay, and having said that, Mr. Haley, do you have any suggestions for the next 10?
No, I've yielded the expertise to the rest of you for this. My job was to get samples for the plaque.
Okay.
And I'm not one to, whatever y'all decide, I'm gonna vote with it. So, because y'all have done the work, I trust y'all. If y'all
And I,
been diligent with this, so you could go to the coffee shop and pick 10 and bring it back next time. I'm gonna tell you, that's the 10 we want.
I'm at,
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't thought past the 7
Okay.
mark.
So we'll table it for tonight. What I'm
Let's-
hearing
let's-
is that,
yeah, let's leave it at 10 for now. And Jeanette, if you, as you're sitting, taking care of family.
and we'll continue to work on
Let's choose
10,
another 10
Jeanette,
and
and
order
if you,
them.
and if you want, we can all work together. That way we don't have to
Wonderful.
redo it.
Yeah.
If you can see time in your schedule, I'm available after 4, Monday through Friday.
I think, may I speak? Do you mind?
No.
I think what, Mr. Haley is trying to get across of is, we got the 10, but the funds to use on what we can use right now, right? So I know you're talking about tabling it. I don't know until when. I mean, if we want to table it until next month and have a discussion to get 10 more, you said could get on the March council agenda. If we decide on another 10 next month and you go to the city council and they ultimately don't approve the money to get an additional 10, then all the work, I guess, that we've done to get these other 10 figured out kind of would have gone to a little bit of waste. So it may be better to see if we can secure the funding, then come back in here and have a discussion as to what's the next 10 that we're going to do. You don't agree with
Karen,
that?
I don't, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to do this. And while we have able bodies and people that are willing to go through it, if we can get through 10 more tonight and secure 10 more, it's done. And and I think it's gonna take them a while to get to 20 plaques. And we probably won't meet in what, July, maybe you said some months that we may not even be meeting. So then we can say, well, we got our work done. Now you guys, do the rest. And I know the 5,000, they
Sit here
have
tonight and
agreed,
Do this.
they've agreed that they're gonna do the 5,000. So I don't think we have to worry about them releasing the funds for the 5,000 that we've already been awarded. That money was left to us for this purpose. So that's our money. And so that's what I'm going for. And they'll write the check to give Mr. Haley invoices. He'll submit invoices to them and they'll give us the check. Once we get our purchase order, I don't know how they do it through the town. I don't know if they're gonna do a purchase order and then we get the order made. I'm not sure, Mr. Haley, you may have know that process. But we're gonna go with our 10 as recommended. And we're gonna ask for the check for the 10. We will tell him how many characters are on the 10. We already have it counted out besides the one we
Lot
just
of 'em,
added.
yeah.
The one we just added, so we can get that to you by Wednesday of next week. And by March, we'll go ask for the money. And we're not gonna ask for any permissions or any other information, but we'll just ask for the money for the first 10. Then we can compile a list of the next 10 and then have them well on their way. And then by the time we meet again, we can go for another 10 and get our work done because you gotta figure, we're gonna have more things to come up that we're gonna have to address. And I don't wanna be stuck with this for the rest of the year. No, because this is very time consuming. We spent 2.5 hours just counting characters the other night out of our evening. And prior to that, it probably took us the initial time when we went downtown.
Yeah.
That was about 3 hours. So it's a lot of leg work and a lot of, a lot of work. So we can do 10 more tonight. That would be most helpful. And if you are gonna count on us to do it, Jeanette, myself, and Ms. Chen, we can decide on a time. If we don't get through the 10 tonight, we can decide on a time to meet and bring back another 10. Or if we don't have to bring it back, Mr. Haley, what you're saying is that then we can just go and when I go to the council in March and we'll just ask for the money for our 10 already selected and let them know the next 10 is gonna be X, Y, and Z.
We should be good because the characters it's like 66, another one's 110, one's 163, one's 52. One's,
And now we're taking out addresses, so it's gonna be even less.
so
So I think we're
I
in the
think
money.
with regard to number of characters per plaque and for plaques total, we're not gonna be feeling
Okay.
like we're leaving out stuff that we kind of would not prefer to leave out.
And so right now, we already have, so if the Hardin House has a plaque, we're gonna go to the Historical Museum. Then the next thing that Jeanette had mentioned was the press building. So that's number 1.
Y'all had, I have it down that y'all had already had it in your first
Right now.
list.
The press building and High Five Bolts.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, the press is number 5, the High Five Boat number 8, Ector number 7. So the only one that we really have then that was left over is going to be just the question about the Hardin House.
I'm pretty sure, I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw.
So when we get past
I'll
the
check
Hardin,
that. I'll check that tomorrow.
yes, ma'am. So we go past the Hardin House and now we're gonna exclude so Graham Furniture, you had mentioned it was field building. Are you gonna consider it now or just keep it out? Still a field building? Okay, so we're not considering Graham Furniture, so we'll take that off the list. Jeanette, what about the JT Hunter House? It's, it was the Greek revival woodwork or something.
Yeah, JT Hunter House. I couldn't find that either.
That's what I'm asking her. Do you know anything about that? We couldn't find it.
Where do you see that list?
It's on our inventory and
Well, a lot of stuff's been torn down since that inventory's old,
I
it's
know.
dirt.
We just had to have some
Really?
place to start
know.
with, Jeanette. and that-
okay. So what I'm doing, I'm just
Yeah.
marking an X. Okay, because I had a question. What about the, okay, Trollinger Hotel, it has a plaque, right?
Well, and
Yeah.
Trollinger's going, so I would love to put one on there, but it's, okay, that's the greenhouse. That's gone.
It's gone.
It's the parking lot for Colonial Hardware now between. On.
And we decided to keep the Wits building, right? It's the original, that is the original
Yeah.
structure. So we're gonna keep that one.
This is.
Okay.
go.
Then I had another question for you, Jeanette, was the Hope General Store, is it still existing? What do you have for the address?
Wasn't that the one that belonged to Lisa Mosher's family?
I thought that was, I'm not sure. So, okay, so the Hope Scott House,
I don't know.
Scott is the general store or something. No, sir.
I think it's the blue, what I would call the blue building over there next
The
to
blue
Ector.
building is
Next to
the
Ector.
Holt Nicholson building. It was built by the Holts and the Nichols.
But you don't recognize it by the Hope Scott General Store. I just have question
That's
marks
number
about
34 on.
number
the,
34 on your list.
34 on the index.
What does it say?
34.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm. Holt Scott General Store at 38
That
Court
was my
Square
number one.
Southwest and 105
It's showing
South
38.
Main Street.
Give Cameron, please, the address.
Look at 38 Court Square, Cameron,
Northeast, southeast.
Southwest, sorry. 38 Court Square Southwest. And 105 South Main.
It's where the Sternbergers, the blue building.
Blue
The
building.
lawyer is, and the one next.
There's northeast, northwest, southeast. That's it. There's not-
The only blue building downtown.
Then look at 105 South Main.
blue book right here.
That's it. Yeah. Southeast. The appendix has it in red letters as Southwest.
They have a plaque on it.
I started to say, I think the,
And that's where are we? The Hope General Store?
Yeah. Item
Okay.
3.
So that is, okay. Okay, I had a question. I thought that was the same, but it's saying different descriptions in different places. That's why I'm confused, because I don't
That's
know
why it
this
helps
stuff.
to have some of you folks who've been here. a good
Yes,
while.
yes, and that's why we're
Between-
bringing this back.
Between
Okay,
you
so
and Cameron able to pull up the address.
the Nix family home, Jeanette. It's the former dispensary. It's saying,
it's,
number
Well,
27.
yeah.
Number 27.
got
Doesn't have an address
Mm.
here. Number 27.
11 through, 7 through 11 Court Square.
Looking at that picture, would you consider that building to consider? I've just been making notes, 'cause I don't know.
It says it was, early 20th century, so early 1900s. It is contributing. Two-story brick building with permastone facade. Windows on the second story are arched with 2x2 2/2 sashes. The lower story has modern storefronts. The building, which was built by W.J. Nix, was originally used as the town dispensary, the predecessor for our modern-day alcoholic beverage packaging stores. So
Said it served as a Nix family home until 1960.
that's the Nix building. He lived on the side.
That was destroyed with the hurricane.
That's the three-story building.
I've been
This one,
reading and looking and
not
trying to
this one.
research.
Second floor of that three-story building, the hurricane
Off the third.
Hazel took the third floor off. That's why the building over here where the fence is gone,
Okay.
because Jay Burke took those bricks and put the third floor back on
that
that
what-
building to match the bricks.
Okay.
So that's why there's a hole over here. They robbed these bricks over here to
Put
put
on
on,
for the-
to rebuild the third
rebuild
floor
the third
before
floor.
he
Thank you.
sold
Okay,
it.
see, I knew there was some history, so would you, so do we have that on our original list? Next, yeah, that's
Yeah,
on, that's on there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
so to say that that was the former dispensary, would that be a good description to you? Or would you
Well,
want to put it?
when I first saw dispensary, I'm thinking drugstore, not
Yeah.
ABC store. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
It says of a modern day beverage package store,
Forerunner.
Forerunner, yeah. Would you consider that as a good description?
I guess.
Okay,
I'm
Don't
not
forget,
sure
when
we
you
don't
had
need to
Coca-Cola initially, that was a drug. and you got it
Define-
at the-
Define dispensary is not a drugstore, but as a beverage. store,
beverage, so
alcoholic
we'll go
beverage
down
store.
to Ms. Chen, then what she is suggesting that we would take out.
Dispensary.
Well, you can say dispensary, a modern day beverage package store. How does that sound?
I would just say what's here, modern day alcoholic beverage packaging store.
There's alcoholic on yours, mine doesn't have that. Does yours say alcoholic?
There it is.
I'm good, so she's saying that would be, so that would be a good description, okay, thank you, ma'am. All right, I have, the Confederate Memorial. It was, a chapter of the United Daughters of the Confederacy. Think, Skids, where McClure and Skids are now, 122 and 124 North Main Street. It's in, McClure is now McClure Green or Green McClure. I don't know. Would you consider that? This one, sorry, number 58.
Four businesses in there. It's Gifts on Main, which is the furniture store now. Main Line, Charm Salon and Skids. That one building has four businesses in it.
But we're just doing the building, the actual
Right.
building.
Right.
And so what I'm asking you, in your opinion, would you want to consider that?
Like I said, if you're gonna do 10 at a time, you're eventually gonna cover all the buildings anyway.
So we're trying to prioritize.
I know.
Would you consider
I would
that
not
building is
prioritize
not,
right
not
now.
that one?
No.
Not that one, okay. I have another question for you. And everybody can chime in. I mean, it's not just Jeanette, but I'm kind of relying on Jeanette. So I have, 142 North Main Street. It's showing, built by Graham Drug Company. That's number 4, so we already
I
selected
would
that.
do that one.
But, okay,
because
we'll keep
it's,
that one.
I think it's, what's that number in the,
59. That's one we've already selected, but it wasn't on high priority. But if you want to keep that, that's good. I have another one for you. Number 45, it's in the formal Crystal Coca,
yeah,
Cola
I would
bottle.
do
and
that.
those. Yeah, okay, I thought you liked that. Okay, great. So that's number 45. Okay, so that's good. The Moon Building.
Well, which is the Moon
What in the
Building?
world is
Because
that?
on this, in the
Yes.
inventory,
Scare me.
it was confusing.
It's showing here, built in 1912 by Thomas C. Moon, number 49.
I know, but
Doesn't give an address, so you have an address for number 49?
Moon Building at 17 Court Square Northwest.
To see what threw me on your list, Moon Building is now the tavern. What tavern? Because the courts, the bar is in another building. It's not in that building.
Where's the Moon Building?
Moon Building is at 17 Court Square Northwest. That's,
Think
Is that
it's,
where EP
no.
Gates is? No.
there's there's the Verdict, the flower shop, the hair salon, a Paris building.
but see, I have a corner bar is in the building number 51. Which is,
That actually known as
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
Moon
right up
Building.
from, was that normally, formerly the Moon Building?
Here it is. It's shown as a Moon Building. We're looking at it.
the Moon Building is, I think this one right here with the description of it is these 3 windows is where there's 2 doors for lawyers' offices.
right
is all it is.
All right, that's the Moon Building. Okay.
So the
So-
entire building, like as it's adjacent, that building that's adjacent to it, that's different? That wasn't all one structure?
That perpendicular building that's not the same.
Wait,
Wow, yeah.
see the 3 windows across the top?
Yes.
That's the Moon Building.
Okay.
Okay.
thank
So
And
the
then next-
corner bar
Yeah.
is
Right
in
there.
another building, number
Not it.
51.
So do you
this
think that
Moon
would-
Building's 49, that one's 51.
So do you think 49 would be appropriate? Because 50 and 51 are actually combined. And I don't know I don't know if the bar took over 2 buildings, but it's showing it 50 and 51 are combined. But I couldn't decipher 'em. I was going into there last night before the meeting for Appearance Commission, and I was trying to figure it out, and I still couldn't figure it out. I was standing there going, I gotta get inside this for the meeting, but I stood there and I couldn't decipher. Yeah, I know. So, because that looks like they closed that off for some reason.
Remodeled mid-20th century fill, 2-story brick commercial building with remodeled storefront, aluminum screen, building probably erected by Thomas C. Moon shortly after he purchased that lot. Structures on which the structure stands 1912.
If you would consider that, that's going to be number 50 and number 51, but then we would just need a description if you were familiar with it. Or we can take pieces of what you just read. I was
No, it messed, that whole corner is messed up.
messed up. Okay, so
I
I'm,
couldn't
but would you
decipher it.
consider that corner and the Moon Building as part of what you would like to have? For it?
I think the Moon Building is that lighter brick one.
The floors, where the floors is
48
now?
is the Paris Building. 49 is the Moon Building, which would be that kind of yellow brick one.
You think that
And
always,
50 is the one with the bright white windows, and 51 is the corner bar. So,
And they were never all together one
no,
building.
they're 4 different buildings.
so this
you
index is
confirm
not
that.
right. That doesn't help us any.
That's why I was confused
No,
last night.
Jeanette, that makes sense.
Mhm.
So it's
The lightest building.
So
there
the
should
lightest
be-
building,
49, 50, and 51.
which is
Johnson
not.
Corner for 51.
Mhm.
So
So would you consider that corner?
the moon, the light one, yeah, I like that one. The one next to it, it's nothing, and I mean, it's blah.
Okay.
The Paris Building, the lighter brick one,
And is the
um,
lighter brick one gonna be 50 or 51 or no? What
That's
is the light? That's
no,
50?
49, that's the Moon Building.
The Moon
49.
Building is the floor.
Now, you might,
So you would keep,
no, the
No.
forest is over here,
The little yellow building, right?
no, the floor. Go back, Cameron. That don't mean
That was-
anything.
As we were walking around, that explains the confusion.
Mhm.
None of that area made sense to me, Jeanette. but
And
it-
that's why I marked questions on certain
Go
things. I
back
was
to the
like, let me get
picture
back
if you
to this
don't
stuff
mind,
here.
of the
But that
four
was-
buildings. There we go.
The little yellow building,
The little yellow building is the Moon Building.
that's number
48
40?
is the Paris Building, the tall one, says
Right.
Paris Building.
Right.
The next one is the Moon Building, the yellow one,
That's 49?
right.
Okay.
The next one's
That's what
50
I got.
and the corner bar is 51.
So they're saying 50 and 51 was the same structure at one time. Do you remember that
Well-
being correct?
But they have built a
Who's saying 50 and 51? 's
That's
the
what's
same?
on this information that I have. The number 50 and 51 are the same. It does, but it looks like one has been brick veneered or cleaned or something. But see, some of this stuff has
well,
been
then
brick
that's my
veneered.
mistake because on the index, 50 is number 12 Court Square. 51 is 8 Court Square. Both of those are northwest.
12 Court Square is that tan building. 10 Court Square is this one right here. The 10, 12, as soon as 14. I had to go.
No,
8 is the
One-
bar, 8's the corner bar. You're going the wrong way.
Going the other direction.
that's okay. So verdict
22, so
Then the
The
Paris
year
Building
is in the Paris
and
building.
the florist is next door in the
That's right. The
same
little
building.
yellow building is number 49, which is the Moon Building.
Right,
I got that.
but it's
Okay.
got, it had the charm salon in it and a lawyer's office. Now it's Southern Roots and something else.
But that's the building,
Yeah.
the yellow.
Huckleberries.
Okay, we're good. Okay. So that's. the
Southern
floor.
Roots and Huckleberries, yeah.
Sir, yellow building. Okay. So you would consider that, but do we bring in 50 and 51, those other two? No. Okay, that's
Very
my
good.
question. No problem. Moving past that now. Okay, I have here, and Ms. Chin, please, if you have any suggestions or going through
Oh, yeah,
anything,
you guys-
I just made
you
some
guys
notes.
are on it.
Lisa Cal Moser, that's what she was providing the information for, was the Holt Nicholson block.
Family was one of the two. yeah.
And that's going from 20 to 26, Jeanette, is what they're indicating. It's a stretch from 20 to 26. So we'd include that and we could possibly, reach out to her, and if we don't get a response, then we would have to rely on something because there's actually really no text there. Finding out what the original building is, and I would, while I'm at the records, I can also check on that building, but I would like to include this one, if you guys agree, the Holt Nicholson, number 38.
Now I have text in the HRC one.
You do?
You need to use our HRC handbook.
Right,
Yeah,
she has it,
Okay.
she has it. But I was just saying, would we include that one? It's no text on what I have, but she has it
Well,
here.
I've got it down here, yeah.
All right, perfect. I thought maybe you would like it, okay.
What number is
I'm just
that?
trying to guess, because I don't
Jeanette,
really
what
know, but I
number is
thought
that on the inventory?
number 38.
38.
Okay, perfect. We're going right along. I had another question for you. If you see anything in between the time that I'm calling out what I'm calling out, please stop me and let's incorporate it. Now, I was confused about how far down the street it goes, but I have the Graham Presbyterian Church.
It's in the thing,
Would you want to include that in the image?
possibly. Yeah, I would, but
Okay.
it's up to the church, so.
And we may have to get permissions, what she's saying, so we can probably just stop by there. Okay, so that's number 67, Miss. Uh-huh. And we have the former post office, right? We already have that one, number 68.
Yeah.
Already have that. Okay, perfect. So she said yes to that.
Building was a fill.
Another one that was saying it was built in the mid-20s, Jeanette, is number 70. It's saying 118 West Hardin Street.
That was the fill. That was where the deeds are.
That's the field building. That's a field. Okay, perfect. All right. Another one that I had was, 112 West Hardin. Number 73.
That's the back of Sandy's. I think she has,
It was the side of Sandy's, yeah.
now,
And she does not have one on her building, Jeanette.
Is that building
as Grand
itself?
Garage. I thought.
Because we actually went in there and asked and they didn't,
They didn't
we
have
thought
one.
perhaps it had been, correction or changes, perhaps they had taken the plaque off and it was tucked inside on an inside wall, but that,
Said no. Okay, so, the number 44, Jeanette, it is the former Graham Fire Department. It's
That's the museum.
number 44.
Yep.
Okay, all right, same as museum. All right. Let's see, 1, 2, 4. Anybody else have any? You got anything?
I would,
All right.
saying that Sandy's does not.
oh, we
Sandy's,
we physically asked.
they don't have a plaque. So, but the building itself, what I was wondering, because some apartment right to the side of it.
The 72, the Irwin Block building, it's the,
That's 114 West Hardin. It's 114 West Hardin. 112 is saying that it is the side of Green McClure. What about, look at that, Jeanette.
yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
So 114,
Because I think it's unusual with that block.
well, all that's been, yeah, that's been refaced, looks like to me. I don't know.
No, that's not Green and McClure. Green and McClure's the gray
Okay.
one right there.
Yeah.
This one
Green
right
and
here is where
McClure
the
is showing
frame shop-
108
this is
West
the
Hardin.
Frame shop is in there now.
Green and McClure on here is showing 108. What do you have? It's number 74,
108.
showing 108 West
Mhm.
Hardin. But now with looking at those buildings that he just showed us, with the one with the paint in the window
I would do
and Green and
the one
McClure,
that's the block, the gray block up there. It's,
that's 114.
1946. It
114.
says Irwin 1946. in the
Irwin block.
Center up there in that block.
So that's 114 West Hardin. Number 72.
There it is right there.
Who, the one we're looking at, the Irwin building. I thought Griffin owned it. We did,
Where the,
yeah, but no, I thought he owned this one. Griffin owned this one too. Okay. All right.
okay,
Maybe because we decorated it for Christmas the other year. Maybe he just wanted it decorated and Griffin said, jump in there and do it. I don't know.
and maybe they won't mind. We'll check to see about the plaque.
That was a drugstore. Was that who? Nobody.
112 is showing, 112 West Hardin is showing, 1930s. Need text for the structure, what you have in there. Number 73.
73 in the inventory, there's not much info.
But see, 73 here is, the picture is the back of Sandy's. This is where I started getting confused, because the brick on the left there, that little sliver is what's showing for 73.
She's right.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's-
74 is the second entrance to Green and McClure. Then you've got the law office, 70. It's, in fact, that's not even listed. And then you've got,
But those were different buildings.
And that's right, but there's, I don't know how you
72,
fix
which
this.
is the Irwin Block building.
So that's why 72, 73, and 74, there's a lot of gray. I don't know how to.
Appendix B and page 30, appendix B 36, item 73 is not right. That's correct.
I don't think
The
so.
photo
I
is
think
not
the wrong,
correct.
it's the wrong picture, I think.
You're absolutely correct. Yeah,
So,
I
so
don't-
you're
not
saying
yet.
number 72 is we're gonna go with that.
70,
73 is not correct.
not doing that one, do 72.
I've got 72, the Irvin Building,
Yeah.
1946.
No, there's nothing else on there that's worth.
Okay, perfect. All right.
The post office at the end.
We already have that.
74 does
and number-
match Greg Green and McClure.
Gray, green. Mhm. Okay, so we just need 3 more. Anything you have?
Did we do the tire place that Joey asked about?
Brantley?
The,
Oh, the little gas
no, the
station.
little gas station that was originally.
The gas station
yeah,
is number
there.
66 in your appendix. 131 West Hardin. Oh, Cameron.
Okay. And that's not where the Miracle Metals.
So
Okay, so,
this one's across
This
from
is
the
across-
post office, remember?
oh, the one where they have the auction sometime next door.
It's a tire
Mhm, on the
place,
right,
yeah.
on the right before the traffic light. Yes, right at the traffic light. What about that, Jeanette?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mentioned that one in my first.
Okay. Spot General Store, number 45.
Oh, excuse me.
Frisco.
Do I?
What, Joey?
Oh, okay, so number 66.
Wesley and Denise. I'm surprised at that because his kids were Wesley and Denise.
I'm just gonna give them to you and you can send me texts.
It doesn't
It
say
is, yeah.
estate of or heirs of.
Because I've been studying this thing. It's a sickness.
Bring it to us.
Okay, so number 60, I'm sorry, go ahead. Number 66 is 131 West Hall,
What?
Yes.
131.
Gas station, what was it?
Okay. Mhm.
I didn't realize he lived there, way out there.
2 more.
Um.
And what about the former Coca-Cola bottling?
Thought we'd already listed it.
Did we list that one?
I don't know what number that is.
Coffee shop. Right there.
I have it. Perfect, okay. All right. Got the move building. That one. And you said don't consider 50 and 51. Got Hope Nicholson. How? We just need 2 more. Done. Oh,
Did we do?
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now, the Little Blessings and where Too Crafty is where more grocery. Right?
What number is that?
13.
Number 13? 109 North Main Street?
Furniture decor and more too crafty. Yeah, that's what I've got on here. And that's what we.
The,
Think that-
it was originally Bob Moore's Grocery.
Photo on the appendix shows us Ari Moore.
So you think,
Bob Moore Grocery.
what about where EP Gate sits? And,
Well, now it's part of your dispensary building.
okay, that's part of the same. Okay, all right.
Part of the booze building.
The what? Those are booth. Okay. Okay, I do have one more, but do you have another one?
I think Little Blessings and Too Crafty are in the same building.
They are,
They are.
they're combined. They're combined, I remember that.
Grocery building.
Oh, yeah, if that's a suggestion, absolutely.
Well, can you move to the right so I can see the three? That picture you had up, go, yeah.
Oh,
there
nine,
you go.
yeah.
So if you look on the GIS, these are all three separate lots, right?
Yeah,
So
so the first one is Little Blessings, the.
Little Blessing is the gray one, that's where the
That
bridal
gray
shop.
one is
The
noted as,
Too Crafty is in the Moore building. So
that Little Blessings, Jeanette, that's actually, that's 111 North Main Street.
I'm just trying.
That's
to-
number 12.
And
Okay.
Moore is 109,
Yeah.
which is where Crafty.
I'm trying to judge which is more,
They're both noted as contributing on the index.
I know Little Blessing used to be a formal dress shop, a gown shop. Where my wedding gown came
the,
from there, Moonlight. Thing was
what?
heavy, it had so much bead work, oh my God.
in where, Hi-Fi or Volt, whichever one was on the end. Hi-Fi or Volt, whichever one. I kind of like the Too Crafty one, the More Grocery.
What about the one with the all the windows?
Now, the windows have been redone. That's the thing, is you go in, you've gone in, somebody's gone in, not you, but redone that window up there. I like the Too Crafty building, Bob Moore's building better.
What about the one to the right of it? What is
That's
that?
the Hi-Fi and Volt.
We already
That's
have
what
that
we've
one.
already got.
We already have that. Okay, yeah,
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
Got that.
I was trying to see what it said on here as far as,
Probably not much.
this one is 20th, where the brick one, where Gala Couture, whatever it is now, is 20th century. Little Blessings is 1940, and Bob Moore's is early 20th century again. So of the three, the Bob Moore would probably
oldest
be the
one.
older one,
Yeah.
109 North Main Street,
the one that says. Too
number
Crafty.
13. With you. Okay, and so we would need a description.
Well, all it says is 1.5-story
A brick
brick
structure
structure with
with first
first-story
story.
glass front is all it says in our
Well,
inventory.
from your history, can you think of anything that you'd rather put in there or?
And what was there?
A grocery store. I mean, I don't know. I don't
Remember the
know
name of it?
when,
One of the first grocery stores in the area.
those were the grocery stores. Those were the grocery stores. There, where Soda Shop is, was Isley's Grocery. This was Moore's Grocery. Those were your
That
stores.
was it, huh?
That's it. And A
On
and
the plaque, we
where?
could put brochures, something about.
Mhm.
he was
And we
there
can
for
check how the,
years. I
how the
don't
record
know.
of these have it too. They
what
probably have the
years,
original
but-
name somewhere. Need one more. Anything else in that little strip? There's something about the barber shop. Did we get that? Or the Graham
Yeah.
Cinema?
Oh, yeah.
That's on the first list. Okay.
And we did do Graham Drugs there on the corner.
No. What's the?
Graham Drugs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
the
mean,
lady,
I don't know what it was.
a lady
built
the other
as,
night
but
told me that.
It was Graham Drug, Miss Stilla Hayes. This. Drugstores.
It's, awesome there.
I hate the Trollinger Hotel. I really would love to do. The building 26, number 26, where Edward Jones and
13 Court Square.
13 Court
right
Square,
there. See, it's a 1916 building.
number
Dividend.
26. Okay, building uses included retail and meal establishments, 1923 second floor, served as a courtroom. Oh, that's a good one. The new courthouse
Yeah.
was constructed.
Yeah.
13 Court Square, sounds great.
See,
There's our
And
10.
I would almost.
That's one right there
And
that
if
is,
you want to continue on with others.
that's
with
one right
all
there that doesn't have a
information,
name. 13
get
Court
another
Square. It's not a building like Elmhurst or Wright.
Well, they've named it.
Yeah, so do you,
They've named those 4 buildings.
so in my mind, those buildings that have a name associated with the building, we need to use the name. Those buildings that don't have a name, we need to use their street address if we use it at all.
But you saying 13 Court Square is the Burke Building? It is now? Oh, okay.
Well, that's
Jennifer and
No.
Chuck named those 4 buildings except for
Oh.
the Nick's building.
We'll
which
get,
would be
we'll get a
Nick's building.
description from downtown.
The next one they named, the next one they named, and the one, the Burke one, there's Gates, Nick's, Gates, Burke, and so it's the building. So you see Gates up there, you see Burke. It's, what's the 4th
The one
name,
with the
Joey?
green window, the
Nick's,
green
Gates,
glass.
Burke, and,
I know what she's. Behind, it's behind that bit, that van, kind of in between that van and that car. You Go straight back, if you go straight back.
anyway, they named those 4 buildings they bought. They chose the names. The Nick's is the only one that
Yeah.
came with the building,
Okay.
because you're not gonna change the Nick's.
Right.
building.
And you know what we have, the 20 that we already have, if you want to continue on.
No, I'm lost. Y'all lost me.
No, not
so-
tonight.
No, I mean, no, but I'm lost. I don't even know what we named, so I
Oh,
was
you
trying to
do
keep
know.
up and.
We'll
we
keep, we'll
didn't.
give you a list. Okay, we'll give you a
Um,
list. Ms. Jen, you said you wanted that? Okay. Let's see. Where are we? Are there, additional items? Okay, so, if we're fine here, any more questions, any more concerns about the 20 that we have selected? Patty, Jeanette?
I might change.
Okay. Let's give her a
Oh.
minute.
Go back to number 15, look at number 15, which is the insurance state, is that State Farm in there? Joey, is that who's in that?
Number 15, 8 Court
Go-
Square.
Go to this corner over here. Yeah, right there.
8 Court
That
Square.
one is State Farm. Okay, that building was born in 1903.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, I would probably, I don't know.
Think you want to include that one? We'll squeeze it in there.
Well, I'm thinking about including it with,
Ken?
no, the original. Yeah.
We already, yeah, we already have the first 10. So we can just condense or change something on this one. So right now, what I have, Jeanette, I have the Hardin House, Holt Scott General Store, the Cola Bottling Company,
Cola, yeah.
number 45, Moon Building, the Holt Nicholson Building. Lisa, try to contact her for description. Graham Presbyterian, Aaron Block, 1946, owned by Aaron Enterprise name. That's it. Number 66, the filling station, 131 West Hardin Street. Number 13, 109 North Main Street. They'll need a description for it. And number 26, 13 Court Square. We need. You have 10 of the original. Original 10. We took out the
Yeah.
SO. I'm not sure.
See, Wits is going to get that whole building.
Yeah, that's
Which
why,
is the
so when
Burke
we,
building.
when they decide where to put them, that will be the planning, not planning department. The, what is it? What's the name of the, Public Works, Public Works. So, and if we, like, when, I guess they may tell us the day they can work on them, and maybe somebody can be present. Or we can go by, you know what we could do? We could go by, we could leave a little temporary marker. If you want to do that. 3 of us, we could do that. If you feel concerned about the positioning of them, we could go by and leave a little temporary marker as far as where we would like the plaque.
Yeah,
put.
that's where it goes on there, that's, I'm out.
So Jeanette, if you'd like to do that, I mean, that's fine.
Honey, you're lucky I'm in town. Only reason I'm home is because I knew you would not have a quorum if I did not show up again for the
Again.
second month.
That's
So
Thank you
don't
very
talk
much.
to me. Don't talk to me right now. I'm not in the mood to be talked to. So, I don't know. I'm thinking about redoing 15, but I don't know which one. Take out
I
the
can't talk
church.
to you.
Take
Can I
the
talk to
church.
you now?
Take the church out because the church, take Grand Presbyterian out.
Out,
Yeah, and
Eh.
put the whole, put the 15 in. The,
okay, and put what in?
number 15.
8 Court Square?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's probably a good call. 1903 contributing.
okay.
Hadley Gold.
Oh, we already had that. That's number 9. That's number 9 on the original.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, that's
it's right
number
now.
9.
No, you have,
8
number
Court Square,
9.
that, yep,
That's number 9.
that's one of the original 10.
That's the original 10.
no, you've got the one in the corner that's got Hadley Jewelers on it is the one we took.
It says 8 Court Square.
Okay, then make 10 Court Square Hadley Jewelers. And put that. I
Okay.
thought we chose Hadley Jewelers, which is 16 on.
Number 16, we haven't chosen. Do you have number 16?
16 is.
Is number 7.
Is
Yeah,
the
that's number
original
7 on here. See, okay, so we have 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. We have number, Scott Building, which is number 14 on your list. Then we have number 15, 8 Court Square. And then we have number 10, number 7 is 10 Court Square, number 16 on your list. So we already have that one.
We got you covered on that choice.
So you
Yeah,
wanna
but
put-
what if they don't give us the money for the next team is what.
They are saying that they will. They've already said that they will. They want this whole they said that the whole project will be completed eventually. So right now, do you want to put back in the Grand Presbyterian? What do you want to put there?
Number 15, the one that's got the insurance company in it.
We already
State
have
Farm.
that.
No, you've got, okay, then make it Hadley's. If you've already put that one in, put the one that's Hadley's Jewelers.
We have that
Exeter
one.
Law.
We have it, number 7. 10 Court Square.
I can't follow you because your numbers and my numbers and those, they're all different numbers. So
Numbers that's
Oh.
on this big print are off of these photos.
Off of that, the same
I know,
one.
but at what I'm working off of this book.
That book is the
then-
same as her book, it's just a black and white copy. Y'all
I
have
got a
this,
black and white copy,
this one that you have.
but it's,
Hers is color, yours is black and white, that's the only difference.
15 and 16 is what you're concerned with.
15 and 16.
They both are
Yeah,
on our
They're
list.
already covered.
15 is number 9, 16 is number 7, and the Scott Building is number 8.
So your choices are already
So we
covered.
have one that we're still left open, is gonna go back to Grand Presbyterian.
No,
What do you want now?
because they get enough recognition.
Okay, so we just need
So
one
let's
more.
don't waste our plaque.
Okay,
Um.
okay.
I don't even,
Okay,
Hold on, just leave it
we did the,
at 19.
now we have the National Bank of Alamance, right? Did we get that one? That was the question I
That's
did.
next director or actor.
Number 35. We have that one.
but see, then,
Yeah,
Jeanette. What,
Wait a minute.
what number is it on here?
36 Court Square Southwest, it's 35.
It's one of our 10.
35,
Number 35. What about that one?
that's,
It has, oh, it already has a plaque.
National
Please
Bank.
excuse me, I don't got that. It
that
already
is
has
the
a plaque.
one with
I've
the
got a
ball.
Y on the photo. It says, yes, it's got a plaque.
It has a plaque.
But
Now, Ector Law, Jeanette, I remember you, I'm sorry.
that's the Hadley Jewelers, the one that says Hadley Jewelers
This
on
is
the
the one
top.
I'm confused about, because over here is number 36. Over here. Okay. Hatley may have built several buildings.
Yeah.
So let's put this one in. That's what I'm thinking, they're different, based on what she's saying. Ector Law is Hatley Building.
The Hadley Jewelers, yeah.
Okay, so that's number 36. So taking, I'm sorry.
Actually call it the actor building on this large.
Yeah, you-
It's in the
on this-
bottom. It
on
has it in the
your
description.
Survey thing, when y'all walked around, you had it down. as
Yeah,
Hector
in
Law.
number 36. Ms.
But it-
Chin. 36. Right here. It's, you got your page 3 on it. The little 3 in the circle. Before that, it is where we just left from, the 10 Court Square, the 8 Court Square, and the Scott Building. The number 7, 8, and 9.
15
the
and
top.
16 are the two.
If we looking for 14, 15, 16, then the next page starts with 29. It says some retail space house, single lead Chinese laundry or something.
Chinese Laundry is back to the Knicks building.
It's
This
the,
is not right.
that's just a description. I'm trying to get her on the right page. But it's. Here, you can have mine. Yeah, copy. Got it, perfect. Okay, so Jeanette, then what I'm understanding to end this discussion is that we're taking out the Graham Presbyterian. We
Right.
already had 8 Court Square, and we're gonna add then number 36. And it's the 10 Court Square.
It's
Hector
number
Law.
16.
Number 36 right here.
Right here, number 16. I don't.
I
know
think
what
you're
this
going
is
back
over
and
here.
forth.
No, this
10
is,
Court Square
Right.
Okay,
It's
number 16, we already
in
have it.
our inventory.
And we have that as number 7. On the next
National
page,
choice.
right.
Then
It's-
back up to 15, which was also built by the Hadley and Dr. Goley, but that's where the State Farm Insurance.
And that's
is.
our selection number 9. You've already selected that. But what I'm asking you to look at, if you would please with me, I have 2 descriptions for the same address. And maybe they were changed somewhere along the line. But what I'm hearing you say is that Hadley Jewelry
Yeah.
is really the owner of, no, I'm saying owner, I'm not talking about like purchase. I'm
But
saying
maybe
we're gonna
initiator?
own it, yeah, the initiator for 10 Court Square. They have it here twice. What I'm trying to bring to your attention is number 36 and it's also number 16 for the same address. I was wanting clarification from you if you could, but the only thing I'm concerned about, they are separate, but you referring to them as being the same, but one says northeast and one says southwest.
Southwest is wrong, it's northeast. 36 is wrong. There's this shouldn't even be here.
So take 36 out, it's wrong. So that's not Hadley Jewelry.
No,
Hadley Jewelry is
16.
10 Court Square
10 Court
northeast.
Square. Right,
So we already have that,
right.
okay? So we don't need that one. So then we'll go to, we still have one more you can select then. So did you understand what she's saying? Number 36, she's saying is incorrect.
Southwest is number one.
Now, the Vestal number 9 on this thing, y'all's choice, the Vestal Hotel,
It
I've
has a
already got,
plaque.
has a plaque.
It has a
plaque.
plaque.
So-
Correct. Yeah.
All right,
It has a
that's
plaque.
wrong.
Mhm. We just need one more then.
Um,
For 27, we selected that. Seven. Right, and we selected that. So 27 is not part of your first 10, right? The dispensary, where we talked about the alcohol. beverage.
and the Burke Building, 13 Court Square, did we not?
That's not one of our selections, right? Okay. So Jeanette, the number 27, the dispensary,
Right.
add that, we're at our 10. So we take the Presbyterian, because I had started to write 27 and you went with Graham Presbyterian. Then we took Graham Presbyterian out when we were at 8 Court Square. We already had 8 Court Square. Then we went with number 36. We already had that one. So if you are agreeing, I can do number 27. And then that was gonna be the dispensary. Like that. So Miss Chin, number 6 on our list for the next 10 is gonna be. Done it, okay, you can just keep that. Yep.
I know this was painful, but priority, at least now it's done.
We'll get this, we need to meet prior to, if we can, please, next Wednesday, so we can get it to Mr. Haley in timely fashion,
Yeah.
and then he'll get it back to us. I'll take it to the council, get our 5,000 and hand them a list for the next 10.
That what you want to do, yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for your participation. I think now we can conclude that unless someone else has any other. You, Jeanette, are you
Yeah.
clear? You okay? We're gonna send you all the notes.
All right.
And then you'll be fine. We'll
Thank
send you
you,
all the
Jeanette.
notes.
I
And
know
thank
you're
you
working
so
off the
much.
3 lists, but
And we understand your
between you and-
situation,
between
everything
you and
going on.
Joey and Cameron pulling up the map.
Everybody, yes, thank you,
I will
Cameron.
tell
Thank-
you,
thank
as
you,
being
Joey.
somebody who doesn't leave the house, is new here. followed the appendix, two areas that were confusing to me with what I saw in paper and the building I was standing are the two areas that were incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
That's not
Oh,
too
that's
bad.
good.
for a
For
person
a
who's
newly,
directionally
right,
changed.
right. That's good. You did good.
Lieutenant with a map. always a
Everyone did
dangerous
good, and
thing.
thank you for your participation. Now, additional items of discussion, if we can close this out, you all right, Jeanette? Okay, and we'll send you the notes. You have anything else? Okay.
Mm-mm. No.
So additional items for discussion is that we had mentioned the last meeting that we would like to join forces with the GABA. I met with them last night and I did a presentation. Went over very well. We started out with the lookup tour. Okay, so what they're doing now is that they are accepting multiple suggestions and ideas. Okay. So last night we did the lookup tour. I have reached out to the Alamance, what are their names? I've reached out to Impact Alamance at Cone Health, part of Cone Health. I've not yet gotten a response back from them. So I moved a little bit forward. And what I went to was something that's gonna be very similar. But it's gonna be like more of a red carpet effect. So I was thinking about having the drop billboard in the back where you see them when they're on the red carpet. The names of all the downtown businesses and their logos will be on that backdrop. And the ropes from the Graham Cinema, the red velvet ropes, similar to this, shown in this picture, would be used for our red carpet effect. This one showing the billboard in the background would be used for the local businesses and their logos. And the names of the businesses would be here. And we would still have the same thing, drawing the attention downtown. Still the same with the tickets. We sell the tickets, you buy tickets, you come in, you participate. We also talked about at this red carpet event, we would have like pull off costumes. So you can go and take your picture for the red carpet. You could put on a tuxedo, you could put on a gown. They're just gonna be little rip-off costumes. And they would have the business would participate with their appetizers or drinks or whatever they decide to do. During that presentation, it was brought up that we had, of course, Miss Graham that went on to be Miss North Carolina. Jenny. It's gonna be her 60th year from when she was named Miss North Carolina. So they felt that with this red carpet event, it would be very appropriate to incorporate her, celebrate her. And then we could have the big spotlight, all that going on. We're asking for people to come with a lot of cameras that still have flashers. So you get the red carpet, effect. Tear-off costumes, I talked about that. Oh, they also talked about having, a tear-off costume for a farmer, so we can include them as part of Graham, but we were focusing on just people coming. So, they liked that idea. Everybody got engaged and they were talking about, how to do the carpet, how to lay it out. They were gonna choose one of the main corners. And so what I'm thinking is over where the Memorial Garden is by the Bell. Across from the courthouse. What is it called?
That's the
Yeah, the
Centennial Park.
Centennial Park. That would be a good area to have the display. And then we would be right near some of the businesses as well. All the business owners were really on board. Then there was another guy there, he talked about doing a cook-off. He had wanted to do for some years now. And he's actually one of the business owners, so they threw that out. What else did they talk
About
about?
a time period at all?
Well, they said what they are looking
Summer,
for
spring, winter,
anywhere,
Fall, year.
where they're saying June, skipping July, August, then maybe considering September and October and cutting out the hotter months to do it and getting it to where it's still kind of pleasant, outside, not too cold, not too
They're
warm.
thinking of doing this twice.
No, no. Well, they may do several events, but just the one that we're gonna help them with, what they decided was that they would take our idea, and if we don't get back in contact with the Impact Alamance, they would take our idea with the lookup tours, they would take our idea as far as the red carpet event, they would take the guy that was their idea about the cook-off. So they are gonna be meeting themselves, and they will come up with their theme and what they want to do, and then they will contact us. And if we're still willing, they would love for us to help them host whichever event they choose. Because they had so many ideas on the table.
We're not here as an organization to promote the business. We are here for the architecture, and the whole point of the lookup was look up, look at these buildings, look at everything we just looked at
Mhm.
on the slides and stuff. The architecture, the brickwork, the windows.
And I
We're
mentioned-
not here to promote those businesses. That's GABA's job.
Mhm. And I mentioned that, and what they are trying to do is to incorporate something that will, I guess, maybe spice it up some. I didn't attend the last one. For my record, the last one that they had was October 6, 2019. And I don't know if that's an accurate date, but that's what I have in my records.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
interested in doing something
so-
social.
I'm not.
So
either.
I don't
That's
know-
not What we're here.
I
for.
don't know,
No.
I don't know that that was the last event.
Jeanette's got a good call on that one, but
Well, and it makes sense. So we can
And
go
we
back
did
to
it
the.
the
Mhm.
September
Well, I thought you didn't have the
28th.
information, so.
No, I said I had the information at home.
But we can still consider that. That's just something we would have to get a sponsor for, remember, because the last time it was sponsored by the Impact
Funding.
Alamance.
yeah, I need
So
funding for it.
these things that they were mentioning last night and that they were agreeing to were things that they were going to be sponsoring, and they were going to be, and they would just like us to come down and help host or whatever the event.
But
So
they have participation, yeah.
participation. But the lookup tour kind of is like dead unless we get some funds.
Well, no, it's
Because the
not
last
dead.
time it was
We
funded.
just can't feed people because that's what Impact Elements paid for, was the
Mhm.
food. Was they paid the bill to the restaurants and the bars for the food and the drink
Right.
that we.
It would
Right.
almost be better to have HRC team up with Russell Compton when we did the
Right.
historical.
I mean, we can do an
architectural.
architectural tour anytime for free, because all we're doing is walking around and looking, that's free.
Literally done it twice.
We just need to, I mean, we'll have to do some advertising, but
Okay.
so.
I'd sooner link up with that than,
Yeah, the museum,
Okay.
that,
That's-
that.
that's my
I mean, we're not
druthers.
here to promote
Yeah.
businesses, we're here to save these buildings.
that was primarily with the walk around historical tour. It was.
All right, so it's just open for discussion, and I feel what you're saying.
Getting input on
And
that.
and that was their,
yeah.
that was their thing. Right now, they haven't decided. If you know how to pull the lookup tour together, we'd be more than happy to get in behind you and do whatever we need to do to
that.
make it
Yeah.
happen. But,
Annette and I made me.
if they call on us to help host or whatever, I will partake in that. I like it. It still brings recognition to the Historic Resource Commission. A lot of people don't even know who we are. No one attends our meetings. I've always talked about going outside these walls and being able to get people here. so they can get involved in what we're doing and what we're trying to do. So if we had more participation from the community, it would probably be easier to fund and easier to do, but we're just dealing with right now 4 people, which brings me to the next. I'm gonna segue into something else. If we agree that we can still do the lookup tour on our own, and not have any food or drinks or anything like that involved, and just do a free tour. So, and I'm behind that 100%. I like that.
I'd go with that.
And then we could, think of other things that maybe can draw attention to the Historic Resource Commission, because we really need, some involvement.
We need some members.
Well,
that are-
need some
Yeah, I was
members.
gonna say, we need.
Well, I'm gonna segue into that. So, unfortunately, we have had to reach out to Mr. Moore and, what's his name? Mr. Brooks
and Mosier.
Mr. Brooks and Miss Moser, Miss Kaiser Moser, okay. And, there's a letter that was drafted also today. Cameron has numerous records I have sent for, as far as his contacts and his attempts and his phone calls, emails, that he's tried to make connection and get a commitment that they're gonna come. Some days he's gotten commitments and they still didn't show. So he has made numerous efforts trying to help assist to get them here. Unfortunately, nothing has worked yet. Today, another letter was drafted, and it's basically explaining the attendance, the importance, and the pressure that it puts on the board when 2 are absent at the same time, in the event one of us may need to be absent. Like Jeanette just
Yeah.
explained tonight, she got here tonight because she knew.
But don't we have
issue.
an attendance policy that
Do-
so
let me-
many
let me-
unexcused, they're off?
Yeah,
We can vote them off.
They're finished, I think
let
that's what
me
they were when they
finish.
first went.
So with that being said, pressure's put on you to come away from your loved one's room to come here to make sure we have a quorum. And thank you so much for that. I mean, I know that took a lot out of you. I know how much time you're spending on the road, you're spending in the hospital, and thank you so much for, going that extra mile for us tonight, because we wouldn't have had
I'm
it.
going through the list.
Yes, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
mean, it means a lot. And I've been contacting back and forth, so I know a little bit about the situation. But going forth, what we're doing now is that we're saying basically, in this letter, we're explaining the attendance. We're not supposed to miss 2 consecutive meetings. And then to have missed, I'm thinking 6, if I'm correct.
They were,
Whatever.
they were both here in September.
'Cause I don't have,
October.
I don't,
Last meeting that we had, none of them were attended.
That's 2.
well, my letter is asking for them to either resign, or I'm indicating that I will ask that they be resigned. I'm going to now, and I've asked them to respond to us within 48 hours. I'm asking them to respond directly to Renee Ward. And if she does or does not get a response, I should know within 48 hours. Coming into the next meeting, we will possibly have already been to the council asking for permission to reopen
Move them.
and remove them. Okay, so that's what took place today. So that is now in action. They both have been sent. The letters will probably won't go to them via email until tomorrow. So it'll be 48 hours from the date that this sent. Either way, before next month, before we come in, we will have,
Probably by next Monday.
yeah, either way, coming into next month's meeting, we will know where we are. And I'm soliciting for 2 more bodies. And if you have any ideas, any suggestions, any people you know that will serve well on this committee that can attend, please reach
That was
out to
to be
them.
my next, we haven't replaced Jerome yet, right?
Correct.
And now we're fixing to
that's-
throw 2 more off, so we need 3 people.
Well, we're
Really
not
need-
throwing them off. We're gonna try to abide by the bylaws and the handbook and for Jerome's. No.
I know there was the alcohol, I think, a lot of vacant positions,
for Jerome's position? A decision has not been made for Jerome's position.
Correct.
Heard if there's any.
So with that having been said, where we are now is that if you know any candidates, anybody you feel would be appropriate or, bring enhancement or willing to learn, because people coming aboard and moving to the city new, it's very exciting to learn some of this stuff, listening to you, Jeanette. I mean, it does a lot. So if you know anybody, recommend them, or if not, we're going to put it on the website. I'm not sure how they go about it, but they know the procedure. And so that will take place very soon, very soon. The next item up for business, Jeanette? Okay, so if we have any updates from the council? Okay, any updates from the staff?
The facade grant for 130 North Main Street, I don't remember which
That's
building it is, but the awning, they have replaced the awning and they got their bid that they have paid their receipt, so they should be getting their reimbursement back.
For which,
that's Charm.
What is it?
130.
130 North Main Street, Charm Salon, yeah.
If you like my haircut, they did it.
So they will be getting their
Yeah, I did.
reimbursement back. They're also, I think, in the process of removing the siding or the top part of the Green and McClure Furniture Building. So you'll be seeing that
was that
coming through
right?
sometime soon, so.
Cool.
And that is all I have.
Green and McClure, what did you say?
Do you need?
Jeanette, could you please just wait 1 second? I can't hear what he's saying. What did you say, Cameron? Green and McClure, what'd you say about them?
Where I said,
Taking
they're
the top.
taking the siding off of it.
And so they are going to be doing what?
Taking
Just
that
take
siding
off.
off.
Taking the siding off, and then that's where they got the facade grant to replace it?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect.
Well, they don't know what kind of shape the bricks are gonna be.
Well, the facade grant that they were awarded for was just to take the siding of it off. They didn't
Mhm.
get any money for any repairs or anything.
Right.
on the-
Another facade grant. that
Yeah.
reached
but-
What's
What's underneath
But
it?
it wasn't in that bad a shape. Everybody
it?
was kind of surprised. that you
Yeah.
put that.
Okay, anything else? If there's nothing else, may I have a motion for the meeting to be adjourned?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Thank you, guys.
I didn't realize this is.
I think it went well. We have what we need.
Yeah.
You tell me. I don't like